Welcome back to the channel and yet another Halo tier list. This list, however, is a little more ambitious than the last ones. That's because this is going to be part 1 on a series of videos I'm doing ranking all of the Halo weapons in the entire Halo series. I'm talking Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, 3, ODST, Reach, 4, 5, 198 weapons total, excluding the Halo 5 requisitions. And I'm even going to be throwing in the rankings that I did on Infinite, which, if you haven't seen my Halo Infinite tier list videos, go check them out. They're linked in the description below. If you're new here and these types of videos are your thing, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm not looking forward to this. The script is pretty long. Let's get right into it. We're going to be starting off with Halo Combat Evolved. Now, the 2001 release of Combat Evolved started the Halo franchise, and it perhaps has the smallest weapon count of the entire series, clocking in at a whopping 10 weapons. Let's begin. Alright, we're going to be kicking it off with the Magnum. This is a triple S tier. Now, the CE Magnum is well known not just to be an absolute meme machine, but it's also known to be the best weapon in the game, if not the entire Halo series. It can kill tanks in half a magazine and drop Spartans in only 3 headshots. It really does outclass every single weapon at almost every range to the point where it completely and totally breaks the CE sandbox. Assault Rifle. That's going to be a C. Now, the Assault Rifle has quite the ammo capacity. The classic AR is an absolute bullet hose, and though it's my favorite looking gun in the series, thanks in part to that ammo counter on top and that just beautiful 60 up there, it does absolute potato damage, especially at range. In fact, at any range further than like 12 feet, you're not going to be able to hit anything. It's kind of trash. Up close though, it does have the potential to shred if enough rounds are put on target, but it can even be outclassed at point blank range by the Magnum. The Magnum really does ruin the sandbox for CE, doesn't it? Now we're moving on to the Plasma Rifle. That's going to be an easy B tier. This is my favorite plasma rifle in the entire series. The range on this baby is unreal when compared against other automatic weapons in the series, and the weapon's shield stripping and deadly accuracy makes it really effective at medium ranges, especially against stronger targets. This is an all-around balanced, reliable weapon. Now we're moving on to the Plasma Pistol. Now, the Plasma Pistol is a D tier. Plasma pistols are often not good, and this is no exception. The overcharge is the only useful feature of this weapon, as the normal spam firing is quite ineffective. The plasma pistol doesn't get the vehicle EMP disabling abilities until Halo 3 as well, but this iteration does have a specific ability no one talks about. That's right. The Halo CE plasma pistol stuns enemies, hindering their movement very slightly. That's it. It's absolute dog water. Moving on to the Sniper Rifle. That's an S tier. Now, the Sniper Rifle has an unreal rate of fire in CE, and is, as always, a 2-shot kill and a 1-shot headshot. It's brilliant, but it can be countered by the Magnum at some impressive distances. The only real flaw of this weapon is the slow melee animations, but aside from that, you'll dominate on any medium to large size map with it. The Rocket Launcher. Obviously overpowered. It's ridiculous. That's an S tier. I think you'll find most of the S tier dominated by rocket launchers in this video. It is pretty hard to dodge these rockets, and they're pretty large blast radii. This anti-tank weapon only lacks in slow reload and melee animations, but that really ain't enough to nerf this win button. The Needler. Now, the Needler, that's an F tier. Needler is just absolute garbage in this game. I'm really glad the Needler got buffed in Halo 3, because this gun is a crime against humanity. It has horrible tracking, horrible range, no damage. Like, it's so insignificant even the super combines don't guarantee a kill.
Oh, I got him! I got a kill with the Needler!
It's trash. But I do like transparent blue needles on the weapon model. So, there you go. It's the only part to write home about the Needler. It looks cool. Now we move on to the Fuel Rod. Fuel Rod's an A. This is the first of 2 Halo CE PC weapons. It is highly powerful, with a high fire rate and lots of splash damage. It also likes to play with physics a little. You just lob a few of these at an enemy Warthog and you'll send it to the moon, pretty much. It's just like the rocket launcher in that way, but the only significant debuff for the Fuel Rod is the lack of range due to the Fuel Rod's inconvenient lobbing projectiles. It's more of like a mortar weapon than a rocket weapon. Now we move on to the Flamethrower. Now this is a C tier. Along with the fuel rod gun, the flamethrower is one of the only two Halo CE PC weapons. It can absolutely melt at point blank range, and it also leaves pools of fire that if players aren't careful, they'll trip into them and enter the big sleep pretty easily. The flamethrower is obviously useless at medium to long range, which is why it's in the C tier. I would love to give it a better grade, but it kind of sucks at times, so I can't. Alright, now we move on to the final CE weapon, the shotgun. Now this is an A. It's a very powerful weapon with surprisingly high ammo capacity considering it is a shotgun. Now it's very effective at point blank. And this 20 gauge also has a surprising range as far as Halo shotguns go. And it's got a pretty decent fire rate. I gotta give it that much too. But of course, nothing can compare in CE to the coveted Magnum pistol. And that's gonna be it for Halo CE. As you can see, most of the weapons range very wildly. There doesn't seem to be a lot of balancing in this game. Alright, we're now going to be moving on to the I Love Bees video game adaptation. Halo 2 has 17 weapons in it, and I'll be ranking all the dual wieldable weapons based on their individual merit as well as their quality while being dual wielded with another weapon. Additionally, I'm not going to cover turrets in Halo 2 because they can't be detached, so in a way they're just stationary vehicles, but in Halo 3 onwards the turrets are going to be ranked, unfortunately. Alright, starting off with the Halo 2 pistol. Triple S tier. Nah, I'm just playing with you, that's a solid D tier. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You either die a god gun, or live long enough to get nerfed to oblivion. They really neutered the Magnum real bad. It is somewhat capable while dual wielded with another weapon, but I typically ditch this gun. It is still capable of headshot kills, which is a small little plus, but the scope has been removed, and the magazine has been filled with Nerf darts. We're going to move on to the SMG now. SMG. That's a C tier. If I can find it. There it is. There's a lot of guns on this list. Now, the SMG is okay. Very average, but a great fire rate and ammo capacity. Does it replace the Halo CE assault rifle pretty okay? I think it does a fine job, especially if you combine it with another SMG or plasma rifle. You'll actually become pretty deadly up close. In any other range though, and occasionally even in close ranges, it can be easily countered by most other weapons. It really does have a range issue, so it's definitely going to be in C. Plasma pistol, D. Nearly useless. Its only saving grace is combining a plasma pistol with a precision weapon, like the battle rifle or carbine, or even the Magnum strangely, I guess, if you want, to get some quick headshots. You won't be running into many plasma pistol enjoyers in multiplayer, and this kind of remains the same for the rest of the series, as the plasma pistol has never been that effective. Despite the overall shoddiness of the plasma pistol, it is still very useful in Legendary Campaign at knocking out elites with that noob combo, but still not quite enough to give it a C. The Needler in Halo 2 did not learn its lesson. It's also an F tier. The Halo 2 Needler is downright garbage. It's only remotely useful dual wielded. You know, potato damage, awful tracking at range. This gun's a literal meme. It's very effective as a doorstop, and for that, F tier. The battle rifle. The battle rifle is what the Magnum is to CE. It's an S tier. Now, while not as game-breaking as the Halo CE Magnum, it is the absolute meta of competitive Halo. It's an absolute necessity for a Spartan to wield this precision weapon to be competent against pro players. A halfway competent player with the H2 battle rifle will usually win against someone without one. BR supremacy is nearly as toxic as Magnum supremacy, and obviously this gun is just as useful in campaign. That's an easily deserved S tier. Now we move on to the plasma rifle. That's a C. It's alright on its own. Effective at zapping shields, as long as you go for a melee kill after that. The main difference is this gun is unstoppable at close range with an SMG in the other hand. For some reason, the plasma rifle has been delegated to a very short-ranged SMG type weapon after CE, and it shows with the lack of effective range, but I'll still pick up this gun every now and then, so I think it's pretty average. Now we move on to the Brute Plasma Rifle. Now this is a C tier. Nearly identical to its brother while exhibiting the behavior of the Brutes. Fire rate is dramatically increased on this plasma rifle variant at the cost of quick overheat times. So this is basically just an ADHD plasma rifle. Personally, I prefer the standard blue plasma rifle to this one, but it's not that bad of a weapon. Now I move on to the carbine. Now that's Easily a B tier. The carbine is a very useful precision weapon with a slick, next-gen ammo counter on top. This weapon can compete with other precision weapons in this category, but it will ultimately fall short due to undesirable damage output. The BR and snipers will usually beat this gun out, but it can't hurt to have one if it's the only longer ranged weapon around you. Nah, screwed, it's a double S. Battle rifle is a double S. I had to fix that. The battle rifle is just too good. Alright, now we move on to the shotgun. That's another A, once again. But the Halo 2 shotgun is still amazing at short range, much like its CE counterpart, and point-blank one-shot kills, you know, just like the CE shotgun. Seems like from here on out, shotguns lose their high ammo capacity and range for 6 shells and point-blank range damage. So, you know, the Halo 2 shotgun is kind of a gem for that. Rocket launcher. That's an S tier. Now, rockets are still OP. This time with faster projectile speeds and a heat-seeking feature that'll smack Banshees and Warthogs alike. This is possibly the most overpowered rocket launcher we've ever gotten. Yeah, it's a rocket launcher. You can't go wrong with that. That's an S. Sniper rifle. Now, this is an S. Easy S tier. Once more, the sniper rifle is among the best power weapons. This time with a transparent scope, which I'm pretty sure is the only time we get a holographic style scope in the series. It has a high fire rate, a dominating presence in both multiplayer and campaign. This sniper is always a blast. Really useful in big team, as is the last one. Beam rifle. Now the Covenant finally get a sniper rifle. And it's going to be an A. It's a worthy contender for sure. The beam rifle absolutely beams. You get it? No. Only drawback of this gun is the overheating that kicks in way too quickly on this rifle. After only 2 rounds in quick succession, this thing will be spitting out a ton of gas. For some reason, maybe y'all would agree, the beam rifle just feels very easy to pull off no-scopes with. At least easier than pulling them off with the sniper. Now, I might be the only one. Let me know in the comments if y'all feel the same way. Maybe I'm just crazy and have an affinity with beam rifles, but I still love this weapon. Now we move on to the Brute Shot. Now this is a D tier. I mean, it's fine, I guess. It has a low ammo capacity of 4 grenades, which leave much to be desired. Not to mention a very slow reload speed and floppy, chaotic, unpredictable bouncing projectiles that don't do nearly enough damage as I think it should. Despite these issues, melee damage with this bladed grenade launcher is relatively high compared to the rest of the sandbox. That is, except for the energy sword, which is an easy S. The first energy sword arrives in the series coming off swinging. The lunge distance, rapid swinging speed, and more make this sword just amazing. Possibly the best weapon at close range, even when your target has a shotgun, in specifically Halo 2 it seems. The only downside is that on occasion it'll take 2 swings in multiplayer or in campaign to take down tougher enemies to get the job done. Now we move on to the Sentinel Beam, which is an obvious C tier. Sentinel Beam is kind of another mediocre weapon in Halo 2's sandbox, and man, there are a lot of these. Limited range and overheating do bring this gun down quite a bit, but if a player keeps the beam steady and on target, they will microwave their target effectively. Now this is a little different from the gold or the blue Sentinel Beam. I don't think it has a name. I'm just gonna call it the gold Sentinel Beam. Now this is a B tier. It's really good stuff, and sadly it's only in campaign. It's far more powerful than the standard Sentinel Beam, and the blinged out gold skin on classic graphics definitely gives it some points in the style department. Set flood on high for 30 seconds for a quick and easy microwave dinner. Now for the Fuel Rod gun. Now this is another one of the weapons in Halo 2 that's only available in the campaign. Strangely enough, it's a powerful Covenant equivalent to the rocket launcher, but it does lack in projectile speed and can't match the rocket launcher in vehicle dispatching ability due to the lack of a lock-on feature and overall damage output. It's going to be an A tier. And there you have it. All the Halo 2 weapons onto the list. Starting to get crowded. I hope I don't run out of room on this thing. So that ends part 1 of ranking every Halo weapon in a tier list. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because the other episodes are going to be coming out shortly, where you'll get to see the whole list completed in full. New episodes coming out soon. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a great day.